Good morning, Sarah. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Mr. Johnson. I'm doing well. Thank you. How about you?
I'm doing great, thank you. So, Sarah, I understand you're interested in improving your English skills. What specifically would you like to work on?
Yes, that's right. I think my grammar and vocabulary could use some improvement. I also struggle with speaking fluently and confidently.
Okay, great. Well, let's start with grammar. Do you have any specific areas where you struggle?
Yes, I have trouble with verb tenses and prepositions.
Okay, we can work on that. Let's start with verb tenses. Can you give me an example of a sentence where you're not sure which tense to use?
Sure. How about, I have been studying English for 2 years now.
That's a great sentence to start with. So, why did you choose the present perfect continuous tense for that sentence?
Well, I wanted to emphasize that I started studying English 2 years ago and I'm still studying it now.
That's correct. The present perfect continuous tense is used to talk about something that started in the past and is still happening now. Can you think of a situation where you might use the present perfect simple tense instead?
Hmm. Maybe if I wanted to talk about a specific event that happened in the past, like, I have visited New York City 3 times.
Exactly. The present perfect simple tense is used to talk about a completed action that happened at an unspecified time in the past. Now, let's move on to prepositions. Can you give me an example of a sentence where you're not sure which preposition to use?
Sure. How about, I'm looking forward to meeting my new colleagues.
Great sentence. Why did you choose the preposition to in that sentence?
I think to is the correct preposition to use when talking about something that hasn't happened yet, like meeting my new colleagues in the future.
That's correct. To is used to talk about something that will happen in the future. Can you think of a situation where you might use the preposition for instead?
Hmm. Maybe if I wanted to talk about something that I'm excited about, like, I'm excited about the concert tomorrow.
Exactly. For is used to talk about something that will happen in the future and that you're excited or looking forward to. Now let's move on to vocabulary. Do you have any specific areas where you'd like to expand your vocabulary?
I'd like to learn more academic vocabulary, like words that are used in essays and research papers.
Great, we can work on that. Let's start by looking at some examples of academic vocabulary. Can you give me a sentence where you might use academic vocabulary?
How about, the research suggests that there is a correlation between exercise and mental health.
Great sentence. Research and correlation are both examples of academic vocabulary. Can you think of a situation where you might use the word hypothesis?
Maybe if I was writing a research paper and wanted to propose a theory, like, I hypothesize that social media hurts mental health.
Exactly. Hypothesis is a word that's commonly used in research papers and academic writing. Now let's move on to speaking fluently and confidently. Do you have any specific situations where you struggle with speaking?
I get nervous when I have to speak in front of a group of people, like in a presentation or a meeting.
Okay, that's a common problem. Let's work on some strategies to help you speak more confidently. First, let's work on your breathing. Take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. Repeat that a few times.
Okay, I'm doing that.
Good. Now, when you're speaking, try to speak slowly and clearly. It's okay to pause and take a breath if you need to. Also, try to make eye contact with your audience and use gestures to emphasize important points.
Okay, I'll try that.
Great. Now let's work on some specific phrases that you can use to introduce a presentation or a meeting. For example, you could start by saying, "Good morning, afternoon, everyone. My name is Sarah, and I'll be talking about Ender."
That's a good idea. I'll try to remember that.